So good day everybody and welcome back to FTRL. It is the season 31 finale in GT2 and the title is still very much up for grabs. How are we going to play out tonight's finale? Well, we are here at the legendary Circuit de la Sarthe, aka Le Mans, for a extended endurance race to round off the season. There is no Group 4 race tonight, it is just the Group 3s. What have we got in store tonight in the cars? Then just prepping around, no qualifying either. We are going in reverse championship order, so that's going to be getting underway any time now. The long races do tend to provide plenty of good action, of course, lots of overtaking opportunities, long straights. Some sweeping corners as well. Legendary circuit for GT racing, the legendary circuit for GT racing, no less. And it does look like we are going to have some weather. We didn't have any weather last week at Nordschleife for the Nürburgring in either GT2 or GT1. However, the rain has fallen already here in practice, and that's usually a precursor for the race. So we're going to see a wet start to this one then. A couple of drivers are sat in the pit lane on slick tyres, which when you have a start under dry conditions, but if the rain's going to be sweeping in, I need to look out for them. So drivers are just going around final preparation laps. We'll have a quick dive into the standings and see how everything looks coming into the final week of the season. Where are we? Alright then, here we go. Johan leading the way, and with one hand already on the title is Joker. He leads the way on 264 points. Had double silver last week, 2 second places. So Lennon bounced back with a victory in the feature race, and served his ban the week previously at the Nürburgring. However, the other title rival, which was Aaron, he had served his ban last week at the Nürburgring, so he now sits in third. Then Joker leads the way on 264 points. Lennon is second on 222. Aaron is third, just a point further back then on 221. So providing Joker doesn't disconnect, you would imagine the title is going his way, unless he has an absolute stinker. Aaron and Lennon are fighting out for second place then. It's not impossible, so still everything to play for. Fourth in the standings after a resurgence of late is Dusty Fossil then on 198. Of course, he won the sprint race last week. Royston sits in P5 on 189 points, followed by Glyn on 175. Zom is 7th on 168. Then comes Derek on 153.55. He had a really strong race 2 last week. Goose is 9th on 131 points ahead of Mikey, who's 10th on 126.5. Arsenal Joe next up on 121. And then Face Potter on 119. Odon on 115. Nobby Norris on 107. And Beach on 61.5. We have got a dusk start. And we have not done the grid. This is going to be restarted. So Zom, you've got to do the grid, my son. It's going to restart, isn't it? I can almost guarantee it's going to be restarting. Yep. Zom has got to do the grid. Everybody out your cars, please. Sake Zom. No, the weather should be the same, I believe. And that said, though, if he is resetting the thing, it might do actually. He might have just forgotten to do the grid. It might be the thing. So if the settings are right, then he just has to do the grid. He just forgot. If he has to reset the lobby, then maybe it might be. But we shall see, Lennon. We shall see. You don't need to practice this. Just go to straight lines. Then getting his practice in, then waiting for the grid to be set. We can finally get underway. Take 2. But on track on slick tyres on it is an intermediate track. So, people haven't been paying attention to the weather, apparently. We may have some people starting on slick tyres, so there's some disparity in the race at the start. For those on the intermediates, how quickly is it going to dry out though? The track does appear to be dry. Well, the weather seems to be dry, but the track is wet. If you look at the bar on the left-hand side by the tyres, you can see there's that chart there on the left-hand side of it. Now, that chart has two lines in the middle of it. It's split into three sections. The bottom sector is dry up to the first line, which is currently covered by the bar. At that point you can use slick tyres. The middle bar, which the weather is now in at this point of the circuit where we're on board with Arsenal Joe, is intermediates. It's going to be a problem for those on slicks. So you can see the parts of the track are a little bit drier, as though it's not raining. So the track should dry out fairly quickly. And second time of the job, Johnny Boy will be leading us off then, ahead of Nobby Norris, Odon, Face Potter, Arsenal Joe, Mikey, Sir Goose, Derek Zom, Glyn Royston, Dusty Fossil, Aaron, Lennon and Joker. That is your grid. 15 cars, 18 laps. Joker there sporting a nice silk cut base livery. Johnny Boy in that beautiful Mordicud livery. He will get us off. And we're running on slick tyres on the grid. Let's keep an eye then on everybody to head up towards turn one. Who's the first one on wet tyres? It's Odon in third. He's going to be the one to watch then. Joe Odon's sending it. He can be patient. He can be patient. Behind him there is Arsenal Joe. He's already on place ahead of Face Potter. Snobby Norris takes the lead from Johnny Boy, who is tiptoeing around through the S's as they head under the Dunlop Bridge for the first time. Odon is up to second then. He's going to make a bid for the lead. Can see it's still raining at this point. Looks spitting on the track then. Nobby Norris tiptoeing his way through. Odon looking for a way by. They come out of Terre Rouge and onto the Mulsanne for the first time. Odon takes the lead then on those intermediate tyres. You can see the spray kicking up on this part of the track then. Those on the slick tyres are going to have to be very careful. Now, are they banking on this weather changing quickly? You can see at this point it's just above that line. They are going to be just going to just Arsenal Joe then to the lead. The Jaguar powers into the lead. The Jaguar's a winner here in 88, I believe it was. The XJR9 as Nobby Norris goes straight out of the first chicane there. Those slick tyres not got the purchase in these conditions. You can see the spray really kicking up. The weather is definitely worse on this part. You can see the rain coming down much heavier here. Leads the way then from Odon. Nobby Norris. Mikey's up to fourth. He's on the medium tyres then, so Goose is fifth. He's on the hards. Aaron's already in P6. He's on the intermediate tyre. Face Potter down to seventh then on those hards. Battle rate with Zom. He's got pretty pleased in the back of his car. Beetle, I don't believe is going to be particularly great the straight line there, but he makes the move on Face Potter. Here comes Lennon. Was that Lennon now breaking himself, or is Lennon on the intermediate tyres? Lennon's on the intermediate tyres. Oh, who's that gone straight on? Zom's gone straight on, and oh, is that being reset? Was it Mikey? I think Mikey got reset. He did. So Mikey gets reset at the second chicane. Then Aaron's up to third. Arsenal Joe leads. So they head over the hill and down to the Mulsanne corner for the first time. Sliding around to get the power down. You can see it's a lot wetter at this part of the circuit. However, there is now no rain falling on the screen. So, this part of the track is the wettest. However, there is no longer rain falling. And Beach has left the room already. We're already down one. So Johnny Boy not able to make it around to the pits to get onto the intermediate tyres. It's a bold gamble for those who are on slicks. Should have been a warning before the race just to make sure they knew that the weather was going to be wet to the start of the race. I think it was a gamble, but whatever the weather is in practice prior to a race is how the race will start. So that time they spent before the race started would be equivalent to the conditions as they are now. Indianapolis. As you can see in the background there, Lennon getting all sorts of wiggling on. Front four are on intermediates. Everybody back here is on slicks, and they are tiptoeing their way around. So basically, your front four are on wets. So Arsenal, Joe, Odon, Aaron, and Lennon are on wet tyres, on intermediate tyres. Everybody else, the Goose, on hards, Royston's on hards, mediums for Mikey. Glenn's on the soft tyre, hards for Dusty Fossil, hards for Joker, mediums for Derek, hards for Face Potter, softs for Nobby Norris, softs for Zom. So that is why the front four are pulling away. Now, are they going to be able to get a pit stop ahead, though, is the question. It's a long pit lane here. They're already 11 seconds up, though. But this part of the track here, look, is nearly in the dry conditions. Arsenal Joe's already in the pits. So Arsenal Joe's already getting off of those wet tyres. And he's going around for one more lap. But you can see at this point of the track, look, the slick tyres are pretty much back level at this part of the circuit there, not on the curb, but on that part of the track, look, it's right on the line. So the slick tyres are going to be just about, you see, like a dry lineup for me. Arsenal Joe is on his way out, I believe. No, he's still in the pits, and so he's out and away onto the slick tyres, onto the soft tyres. So he's gone at the end of lap 1. Was the race leader. He's going to come out in 13th. He's going to try and take 12th from Nobby Norris into the first chicane, the fourth chicane. Not quite. So the Dunlop chicane. Fourth chicane's final chicane. And Odon then has resumed the lead. However, you can see how much drier it is this time around already. Look, there's less spray. And that bar was right down on that line. So we're already on the cusp of slick tyres. More spray here. Right onto the left hand side there. I'm just trying to get a bit of water onto those tyres because they're quickly burning up. And by his own standards has had a terrible season. Leads Aaron by 2.1 seconds. Lennon, a bit of drama, so makes he slip back a little bit. But you can see, yeah, even on this part of the track here, it's significantly dry. In fact, now we're under the line. Look, the bar on the left hand side is now under the line. It goes back up a little bit there. The idea to get over to the left hand side there, if I can get a bit more water on those tyres. Seek out the wet part of the track. He's now 14 seconds up on Sir Goose in third. Well, he might have been in the hunt on safe, but he could still win it. Technically, he could still win it. But he needs Joker, although with Beach disconnected already, I don't know if that's if Joker finishes last. To win, so Lennon and Aaron need to win this regardless, I think, and then they really need to hope Joker disconnects, I think. Just, yeah, the only way forward there is Joker, man leading the championship comfortably so. Those two rivals both suffered bans. P9 just behind Dusty Fossil, just ahead of Derek. Sporting a beautiful silk cut inspired livery. Now Derek behind him. On the medium tyre, looking racy. See how much limited wear he's got. Like, Joker's got for a send, is he on Dusty Fossil? He has not. So trying to go around the outside at the Moorsign corner. Nothing doing there though. Sun now starting to peek through. The time of day switches. And the track continues to dry then. So now it's going to start coming back to these guys on slick tyres. So it's the wettest part of the track last time around. You see it's all right back up to the line now, but it's already significantly drier than it was last time around. Up ahead, Dusty Fossil making the move on Glynn. Up to 7th he goes. Dusty Fossil's another one sporting a special livery. He's gone for an iconic mix of all of the Ford liveries. Oh, in the background, Arsenal Joe goes straight on it and Face Potter. Big crash in the background. Here they come together. Easy racing up. Or was that just getting on the wet part of the track? Each other. Arsenal Joe then. He may have been the net race leader. He led the race in lap 1. He's obviously the first one to pit. Man, Face Potter, they both carried on, so it looks like they both had individual accidents there. think that's a complete lap 2, and in comes Odon, but Aaron has carried on. That's an interesting call. Odon's in. Does Lennon go in as well? No, Lennon's gone round as well. What is going on? Royston now leading the charge of the dry runners, so Royston's now going to be the net race leader. He's 21 seconds down on the leaders, but you imagine from this point onwards that these guys are now going to start taking chunks of time out of the front too. Oh, Royston's got a bit deep, and Goose is going to switch back here, I think. He does. Goose then back up into 4th place as Mikey rejoins the equation, having had that off on lap 1 where we got reset at the second chicane on the Mulsanne. On to lap 3 we go. A little bit deep there into the Dunlop chicane. Joker now up to P6 as well. He's cleared Derek and he's cleared Dusty Fossil, who's back behind Glid. So Derek and Joker have both got ahead. So Glyn gets the move back on Dusty Fossil. Dusty Fossil's going to fight back as they head down the hill. Does indeed, yeah, beautiful. I love this camera angle as well. Love that camera angle. The sun's well just shining down the circuit. It's absolutely stunning. And Norris a little bit wide there as he avoided a penalty. Looking at a bit of a penalty magnet this track for everybody. If you're not careful, especially in these conditions. Then we've got a drag race now. Aston Martin versus Ford GT. Where does Nobby Norris go? And then his support, he's up behind Dusty Fossil, who is now starting to just edge ahead of Glyn. Fingers crossed and safe, fingers crossed. Nobby Norris will try to get down the inside of Glyn into the first chicane on the Mulsanne. They go side by side. Dusty Fossil edges ahead. Glyn and Nobby coming off the corner side by side. Glyn is on the soft tyre and Nobby Norris also on the soft tyre, so equal in that sense. Glyn stays ahead. Nobby Norris tucks right in under the rear wing. They're going to try and bump draft back up to Dusty Fossil. On that side of the track though, they are indeed. Dusty Fossil's gone defensive. Nobby Norris pops out then just as they get to the braking zone. Drops back in again though. Chicane we go, and on to the back stretch. Nobby Norris now fastest man on track through sector 3. Wonderful tech. There is one after the first chicane, yes, sector 3. Chicane slipstream then, heading down towards Mulsanne corner. Norris down the inside of Glyn, gets on that curb, splash of water. Has he got it stopped? He has. Good move. Further forwards then, Aaron leads by 6 seconds over Leonard. Get back to Royston, it's now 15. It's holding steady. There's the next checkpoint. Just see what sort of time it is. You can hear those tyres spinning up now. I'm trying to go as far as he can do on these tyres. He's looking for some wet parts of the track now. Middle of the Porsche curves is the next section where we're going to see some time, but Royston only just up on Lennon's time, so the intermediates are comparable with the hard tyres. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Aaron. He's going to be very careful through these Porsche curves. He's going to be leaning on those left side tyres in a second. That left rear is about cooked. You can see the drifting. You can see him now having to be tentative here. Oh, again. Now we just have to point out there's a slight cheeky dig at the stewards on this livery. Justice for races. Penalty Hunter livery. As in, then comes Aaron. Then another one. Then he was got no front left tyre left. He's now 13 seconds behind Aaron, then so he's lost in the region of 7 seconds on this lap. To the pits he comes. Royston, of course, will go through. So Royston's about to take the lead of this race, and Goose will slip back a little bit to 5th. That'll become 3rd in a moment when they go past Aaron and Lennon. Looks like a penalty there for Goose as he's just hopped the curb. Nobby Norris takes the fastest lap of the race, a 4:08.2. Royston leads. Mikey second, Goose is third, Joker up to fourth. And Derek, Dusty Fossil, Nobby and Glyn. Odon, Zom, Arsenal, Joe. Aaron has just come out there just behind him. So, that one extra lap on, in fact 2 extra laps on the soft tyre, and maybe that off has just cost Arsenal Joe there, but he's still ahead of Aaron. First spotted in 13th, and Lennon now has got a bit of work to do from the very back. Goose then closes back up on this lead battle. Royston leading the way. They're half a second up on Mikey as we head into the Mulsanne for the 4th time. So the 4GT making massive gains there. Royston back the brakes on. The speed difference there was insane. Oh, Mikey's gone deep. He's on the curbs. Now we're going to be wet still. He needs to be careful. It's a little bit wide. Goose sweeps around the outside and Goose takes second place. Your lead battle is 8 cars. 8 cars covered by 4.6 seconds. A truly train going on. He's on a little bit further back than battling with Odon. Odon pitted on lap 2. Comes Arsenal Joe. He's on, started on soft tyres. They're looking particularly worn out. Joe's pitted. Still not looking great. Odon's on the hard tyre in the middle of that. Aaron behind them. He's out on the hards. He's on the hards. Lennon's on the soft tyre, so he's got to catch up to do. Over the brow. Down to Mulsanne corner for the 4th time. Royston still leads the pack. Goes sideways there for Mulsanne corner. It's always exciting to watch. And starting to build up his 8/10, so Royston's got out of slipstream range critically. Goose has got to serve his half-second penalty. It will be after Indianapolis and Arnage. Indianapolis is the left-hander they're coming up to here. This is Indianapolis. And the next corner is Arnage, the slowest corner on the circuit. Oh, Mikey's to pick a wheel in the gravel. Now, this corner is the penalty line. There's the penalty line. How far back in this train is that going to drop Goose? Look for Mikey's probably going to look for Joker. You can see in the mirror. Drops back in behind Mikey, but Joker's still got the momentum. Derek is coming as well, somewhere on our right. You can see him there just flashing in the mirror. So he's deep on the brakes and has held him off then, so just a couple of places lost. The lead group covered by less than 4 seconds. So Glyn's closing in on the leader. Still Royston, it's Aston at the front, Aston at the back of this train. Definitely not. Very picked in this time from the group lead. Arsenal Joe trying to bridge the gap. And those soft tyres are looking very second hand already. Aaron's up to 10th. Aaron 11th, Zom is 12th. Spotter in 13th. Lennon continues to try and close. He's taken 3 seconds out of the leaders. Tiptoe through there like a pansy. Get some curbs. Royston once again coming under threat from Mikey. We saw last time how much speed difference was between the Ford and that Aston Martin. Again, this beautiful camera shot. Cars come out of the S's up towards Terre Rouge. And to the Mulsanne we go then. Joker in third out. Arching his way forward. And Goose has got another half-second penalty. Mikey then, is he going to go for the lead this time? No, he seems content to bump. You can't even see past the Aston Martin, he's that close. So if he knows where the braking point is, he does. Since he lifts off it into the braking zone. Get back in again then. See the speed difference between these two. He's 3/10 up on the fastest lap, now held by Arsenal Joe at 4:05.1. That now is completely dry. Coming down, look again, he's looking up to see where the braking marker is. Is he going to get to the back of the Aston time? No, he's not. He's going to have to just lift and hover. To give him a bunker off that time then. Into the second chicane on the Mulsanne we go. Get power down. I mean, I've tried imagining it in my own safe, it's really, it's difficult. It's like a necessity. It's like breathing. It's just going to it has to happen at some point. He did go to the gravel track and get reset, so we've had that at least. So again, there you can see him there starting to gain as they head, but right into the braking zone, so we can't do anything about it. Oh, he's going to give him a tap there on the brakes for Mulsanne as Goose. In the background there, he saw in the mirror, loomed up on the back of Joko. Joko's got a half-second penalty now as well. So, third and fourth place, championship leader has a half-second penalty. Mikey's bump on Royston has given him nearly a second lead. That Ford is quick in a straight line. Jaguar as well. She's just sort of hanging in the slipstream. He's got Derek's Ford all over the back of him now as well. Goose and Mikey kicking up the dirt there for Indianapolis. Down to our eyes we go. Ooh, around the outside of Joko. I don't think so. Derek up the inside. Gives Hughes a big hip check. Derek there and taking no prisoners. He gets one. He'll also take the place from Joko. Here's Dusty Vossel going to get through. I think he should do. He should have the momentum. Joko gets back up to top speed. And through he goes up into fourth. Got behind Nobby Norris down to 7th. He has the speed, doesn't he? A quicker tyre as well. But Mikey will be able to pull away from Morrison if he could get to the front. At the moment, though, he seems content to sit in behind. 3-4 GTs in the top 4. Oh, Mikey's still straight on. And being reset again. And I think there's been another accident back here so as well. Oh, they're in the pits. Arsenal Joe, Glynn and Nobby Norris in the pits off the soft tyre. Some cars have gone straight on there. They have not. Dusty Vossel now's got himself a half-second penalty. Whoa, 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 whoa. 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 I think the finals we got third in the league, Fever, so you can get stuff. Too far, yes, too far. Onto the Mulsanne we go again then. It's the Aston Martin leading. Houston is 1.1 seconds ahead then as Dusty Vossel now coming to make a move on Derek in the slipstream. Joker's going to make it 3 wide. Rebecca camera angle. There we go. Dusty Vossel on the outside, Joker down the inside. Derek goes from 2nd to 4th. To get to the braking zone. I mean, I'm a big fan of that livery on this car this season. It's superb. He's been changing the colours to match the country of the racetrack. Last week in June he had a nice black, gold, and a red one. Back to red, white and blue this week though. From the Jaguar. He's going to go for a move. Joker's got a little bit defensive. Up to the outside. I think he's going to just hold station though. Getting close in the wrong places. to 18, so this is 1/3 race distance now. Now looking at the tyre situation, we're going the hards, whether this is going to be a 1-stop or the 2-stopper now. Royster's on the hards, Dusty Foster's on the hards, and Joker's on the hards. Derek's on the medium tyres, this is Mikey. So I wonder, are the hard tyres going to be able to go enough laps? It seems to be 3. People started the soft, maybe 5 laps for the softs. So 13 laps. I reckon the hard tyres are probably going to make it, you know. And this could be a 1-stop race for 3 of the top 4, which means that Derek and Mikey have made a bit of a clanger. Guys on the medium. Oh no, Glyn's on the medium tyre now as well. This is Norman Norris, so they've committed to a 2-stopper. Wilson's lead running down there. Dusty Foster's about to serve his half-second penalty. Dropping back to the back of this train. So he got to the front on the Mulsanne. He's now going to drop back down to 4th. Through goes Joker, through goes Derek. Their way up to the Porsche curves. On board with Dusty Fossil through the Porsche curves. Got to the first part there a little bit wide, maybe the dirty air. Then the throttle then through the mid part. Double left-hander again, a little bit wide there. That forward slightly with the steering. Probably the dirty air though. Puts in then for the right-hander, and then you go into this blind left-hander. You've got to throw it into the inside there, try and get the curb, and use all the track on the exit. If you run wide there, you will get a penalty. So keep it in between the lines. Full momentum then. Closes up on the back of Derek into the braking zone for the forward chicane. Back of Joker, that makes him slow. Dusty Fossil lurches up on the back of him, hopefully avoids any contact. Done up S is okay. Down the hill we go. Throttle then, and onto the Mulsanne we go then. Now, what can we do about Derek ahead of him? 3/10 of a second. Derek is out of slipstream range of Joker at the moment. He is gaining. I just wonder if the slipstream is a little bit more powerful around here, with it being a high-speed circuit. However, again, I've got Dusty Fossil closing on him quickly. Nothing to worry about. I think he's got enough there. He's now picking up slipstream from the Jaguar. In turn, he is catching the Aston Martin ever so slightly. Aston Martin kinder to its tyres. Does not quite have the legs of the Jaguar. BOP. Further back then, what's going on? 5th place is now Mikey. On his medium tyres, Aaron has made his way up to 6th place. Ahead of Goose. Aaron has stopped. Third on intermediate tyres, and Odon sat in P8. Grace Potter is 9th. Lemon has picked his way up to P10, but has himself a half-second penalty. And his self tyres are about cooked as well, so he'll be in this time around for the hards. Until the end then. Joe is in P11. He just stopped for the hard tyres. Saw him, Glyn, Zom and Nobby have all stopped. He's on the medium tyres and Zom, so they're going for a 2-stopper. Up front then it is No Dusty Fossil's back up to P2. So he's cleared Derek and he's cleared Joker on that segment of a bit interesting when he gets to the Porsche curves. This circuit, the thing about the circuit is there's not really many heavy load corners. Porsche curves are probably the worst bit. And the first sector as well, so he's through the first bit. It's like R&R is quite a slow corner, so it's not really hurting the tyre as much as it would be through the Porsche curves. So he might be I'll be having some fun by the time he gets to the Porsche curves. Slip back behind Goose. Oh, he's throwing it sideways coming out of Arnage. Oh, we have had a change for the lead. Royston then has slipped back to third. So Dusty Fossil leads for the first time. yes, both Lennon and Aaron both have the same just as lovely, respectively. Now trying to find a way past Royston, who has slipped back from the lead. What about sticking at the inside there? That would have been brave. What this battling is doing is letting Mikey close the gap. Well, bear in mind Aaron is pitted, he's only 6 seconds off the lead, so the thing is, like, Mikey's got, maybe he'll go for one stop, hasn't he? But then the guys at the front obviously are going onto the soft tyre at the end, so they'll be quick. They're getting their pain out of the way now. But didn't Mikey start on the medium tyres? Yeah, Mikey did, so Mikey's still got 2 stops to make, so it might be going quickly, but he's got 2 stops to make. Well, it rained, didn't it? So the tyre thing is out the window. But again, we'll have to pick the little half-second penalty. We'll have to go into the hard tyre. So we won't do anything else. I said though, if you can get the mediums to lap 9, then just do double mediums, couldn't he? Yeah, the rain has thrown some tyre implications in there, in that they don't need to use the compulsory. However, I believe it was set on the lobby that they needed to use it, so there might be penalties coming if they don't. So, well, that's it. And safe that is a question. So, just letting his brother go through. Done his stint on the softs and now out on the hard tyre. Dusty Fossil, meanwhile, is making a break for it up front. He's now 2.4 seconds clear. Joker, Derek, Royston and Mikey battle. Mikey's got himself a half-second penalty. I don't know is the question regarding the tyres. I would imagine. Is he though? I know he's got the hazards on, but he seems to be. He's just got his hazards on. We're off now. Derek challenging Joker for second. Mikey has made the move for fourth. So the Fords now starting to stretch their legs. Derek around the outside, good move there, that is, as they head into Indianapolis. However, Joker fires back on the exit. Joker again. Joker then just squeezes back in front. He's headed towards the Porsche curves. Derek tucks right into the rear wing as Aaron now has joined this battle as well. I mean, it's the only time you're going to be able to say that statement, Fever. It doesn't happen in real life or in person. Porsche goes we go, and the lead is now 3.6 seconds. Mikey's in. Now, what does Mikey go on to tyre-wise? I think it's 10 laps. I mean, there's life in those tyres. He could have done one more lap there. They're pretty much all of the Phoebes, yeah. Derek then, who was right in a battle for second place before, is now back to P5. He's had some dramas in the first sector. Lead 5 then all in shot. He's now out the soft tyre, so Mikey's going for the softs in this stint. And then his long shot at trying to overhaul Joke for the title is proving tricky. He's currently 52 seconds off the lead. He will have now made all of his stops, so he'll make a good chunk of that back. Just had the fastest lap as well. Dusty Foster, however, just did his personal best last time around, a 4:05.4. No, if Eva was the question. Is the answer to that? No, we can't. In the background, and we've got a squabble going on here. Aaron going around the outside of Royston, slotted behind Joker, so Aaron back up to third. He's flying at this stage of the race. He's 4.7 seconds off the lead. And as we go. Curves. Still hanging on in the background. Fossil's lead is now 4.3 seconds. Joker peels off into the pits. Ooh, nearly overshoots. It's interesting. Derek's followed him in as well. He's on the medium tyres. But Joker's pit stop is an interesting one, because I did not expect him to come in. Goose is in as well. I don't think Goose knows the strategy, so he was just going to be following what the other hard tyre runners around him are doing, I would imagine. Yeah, well, that's what I'm wondering as well. Like, does it apply if the rate, the track was wet? Technically, it should have been on the wets really, but because they didn't start on wets, does it not apply to them, but only apply to the four that did? It's one for the admins to question that one. Three. Dusty Russell, Aaron, and Royston. Sucks to be those guys. Sucks to be those guys. And picked up a half-second penalty through that chicane. Penalty hunters. Hunted and successfully captured. Will be trying to get close enough to take advantage. I only imagine that Dusty Fossil and Royce are going to try and get to about lap 13. So I think the softs do about 5 laps from what the other drivers have been doing. Lennon get on lap 3 and then he's got to get on lap 7. So let Aaron know that he was going to drink every time he gets a penalty. So if he wants to get a few more half-second penalties, that would be fun. So his penalty that Wilson has dropped quite far back, so he's catching him now. He's going to catch him enough, but probably not. Have the top speed of that 4 GT. I think Lennon's doing the challenge, that's the problem, he's doing it to himself. See now how much harder it is there to get through the final part of the Porsche curve there. Worn tyres. And not wanting to comply. Oh, Dusty Fossil's in. And we'll go around. Royston's gone round as well, interestingly. So let's find Joker. What did Joker come out on tyre-wise? He's on the softs. And is he going to double soft stint to the end? He's not going to get all the way to the end on one set of soft tyres. Arsenal Joe, who's on hards. It's in the cup. Let's have a look. He's coming around. He's just finished his service. There goes Mikey. He's come out just ahead of Joker. Looks like Arsenal Joe's been off somewhere. So yeah, Dusty Fossil has just covered off Joker. Soft tyres for both. So Aaron leads, but he's going to have to make one more stop, you would imagine. I don't think those tyres are going to get to the end, or are they? No, he hasn't run the hard, the soft shit, has he? He's just pitted off the intermediates, so... thought he was due to stop. The hard tyres are going to get there as well. Bear in mind, Phase Potter started. He's in a front engine car though. Look at Aaron's tyre wear. Too early for soft tyres, realistically. I want to try and get to lap 13. I think if you get to lap 13, you can get the softs to the end, so you need at least 2 more laps. Yeah. I just said there, lap 13 thinks lap to pit, end lap 13. Gives you 5 laps on the soft tyres, which they can do. Especially in the Ford, which is mid-engine, so it wears its tyres a little bit better, more evenly. You can see his rear tyres are in quite good condition. Fronts are starting to look a little bit worse for wear, but I think another one who might be trying to get to that magical lap 13 is that front left going to hold up for him though. There's his brake bias. With the fastest lap of the race, 4:02.3. Close in the back of this Joker Phase Potter. Back on Phase Potter's tyres are absolutely frazzled. Surely he'll be peeling off this time around. Now he's going to go for one more lap. Oh my. These tyres are going to be interesting at the end of this lap. The front left tyre, even on the hards, is going to be very, very, very finished. Got a good run out the chicane there. He's done a personal best there of 4:04.9. 4:08.7. So I thought somebody was ahead of this battle. It was Mikey. He's had an off somewhere on that lap, but we missed it. Deep into the chicane. There's Joker, tries to switch back. Has he got the grip? Inside for the first part of the S's. Phase Potter's going to hang it around the outside though. That hasn't got the grip for the second part. And through goes Joker up to 4th. Okay, so moving to Terre de Rouge. Phase Potter's so slow out of Terre de Rouge. Mikey there, very nearly slammed to the back of him. Just manages to avoid him a half-second penalty for his trouble. And Mike gets the move done. Who's behind him in 7th, another half-second penalty for him. Arsenal Joker's got a 1.5-second penalty. 9th then, Derek in P10. He's on the hard tyre. P11, he's P12, 11th, 13th. Having just pitted on the mediums. We're going to the end. Aaron's tyre wet. Aaron's tyre wear looking starting to get worse, isn't it? That front left tyre. Or both left side tyres really. I don't think they're going to get into the end. I think like Ross said, I think lap 13 going to the soft tyre. He's going to be right on the edge of getting there. He really needs to do one more lap. So last time he did a 4:10, so it's 3 seconds off his ultimate pace. Fossil now flying along, but I think he's going to have to stop again. He's not going to get to the end on those tyres. So Aaron seems to be in pole position. Capitalise if Joker has any issues. He's comfortably in P4 at the moment, doing everything he needs to do. second penalty, so Face Potter and Goose are about to serve their penalty. Good Joe, so we've got growing lap penalties, got half second Face Potter, a second for Goose, and 1.5 seconds for Arsenal Joe. Derek's now got himself a half second penalty. Just past Glynn. Give that place back, he's on just behind them. Norris learning to P13, and now very lonely Odon in P14. And making his way out of the Porsche curves. Ashton, is that tyre going to hang on for one more lap? Let's see how tentative he's having to be now. And we'll go around one more time. No, Rushton's peeled off. Rushton has bailed. He doesn't fancy one more lap on that tyre. But even with the pit loss, even with the time loss he would have to take being pedestrian to the end, I still feel like one more lap was possible on that tyre. Steve Fossil, I believe, has just done the fastest lap of the race. He had a 4:01.9, first went to 4:01s. For hards, when he might have to go into the hards. Goose's tyre is white. Goose got the white chocolate tyres? Or the black? It's a weird look. Green tyres also got white on them. Aaron's lead over Dusty Fossil, which is coming down. Dusty Fossil took nearly 4 seconds out of him on that lap. His way through the second chicane on the Mulsanne. He's down his best lap, but to be quicker than this man at the moment. Very second-hand looking hard tyres. However, he's got a commanding lead. He's probably 3/10 up on his personal best. Still only about 3 seconds on this lap. Okay then. Now, with a lonely third place in the gap. The thing about Le Mans is the gaps do tend to extend. Austin is out on the soft tyre. The Face Potter is still going around. Fair play to Face. Arsenal Joe's got 2.5 second penalty. Where has he got that from? Oh, Face Potter has got no turning on right-handers at all now. Arsenal Joe. A small matter of the Porsche curves to come as well. It's going to be very tricky for him. He'll have to pit this time around though. I admire the attempt to get to the lap 13 to get these tyres to the end. Again there you can see him just absolutely nothing on turning there. No, Arsenal Joe's gone straight on. Despite having some grip, Arsenal Joe's in the gravel. Gives up places back to Face Potter and to Derek. Lennon's going to catch him now as well, because he's got his 2.5 second penalty to serve. He's got no turning either at Arnage, goes straight on. Lennon goes through. Serving his penalty. Down to Pierre, then Aaron is in. So as expected, Aaron pits. Maybe switch into the soft tyre. Now, what does Dusty Fossil do? Because they aren't going to get him to the end. They are not getting him to the end. Joker's pitting. He's going to go into the mediums. I imagine the mediums would make the most sense for him here, because like, he could do the softs, but you just don't know what they're going to last. So when did he pit? He pitted on lap 9, he's got to lap 13, so he's only got 4 laps out of his tyres, so now I think he's going to have to go mediums. Come round and take P5 away, so that's where he P4. Potter has made it to pit lane. Congratulations, well done. Austin Joe as well. Meanwhile, coming around and take those 2 places. Still leaving the pits on the medium tyres. Yep. He's out in 6th behind Lennon. And 3 seconds. No, sorry, he's 8 seconds. Lennon is 3 seconds behind Derek. Someone's come up in 2nd place. 13 seconds behind Dusty Fossil. In pole position for this one, because Dusty Fossil, his left rear tyre is already frazzled, so he will be hitting this time around. We'll go back onto the soft tyres. We'll have to try and chase down Aaron. Dusty Fossil pitted on lap 10. We've got 4 laps, so Aaron might have to do a bit of tyre management here. Just to get to the end, left rear. So they will have a pit stop in hand, so he can afford to just nurse it a little bit. Royston's another one who's also just going to keep an eye on his tyres, because he pitted a lap early, he went on lap 12. He could not make that hard tyre last that extra lap. So I reckon Royston might have another stop in here somewhere. He's going to bring Derek into the equation, and Lennon. There's Joker in the background. Trying to close down on Lennon. He's already got about half a second out of him on this lap, maybe a second. It was over 8 seconds when he came out the pit lane, so it's taken some time back out of him. And the straights, the Merc and the Jaguar fairly evenly matched. It will be through the twisty stuff where Joker's on fresh medium tyres. He will start to claw back some of that advantage. You can see already there. Later got 2/10 out of him. Tenths there out of Arnage. Back in the background with a penalty. Seems strangely not with one. Odon also about to serve a penalty. So Odon, who was well off the back earlier on, as Dusty Fossil pits from the lead. Face past Arsenal Joe with another penalty. And Nobby Norris. Arsenal Joe's another one who loves getting penalties. We've seen that throughout his FTRL career. Not just at Le Mans. So penalty then. Alright, he takes the lead. Dusty Fossil not yet in his pit box. Derek is pitting, interestingly. That's surprising. I'm surprised that Derek's pitted there. The pit loss time is not worth this. Derek, I think you've made a boo-boo there. to be able to get those tyres to the end. That front left tyre is going to be the one to watch again. If he's got his brake bias all the way to the back, that'll help. He needs to roll through some of the right-handers as well, just to give that tyre a little bit of a breather. Just Russell out of fresh soft tyres. He's got 6.5 seconds to make up on Royston. I think Royston's going to have to stop again. We'll just need to be mindful. He should be able to get to the end from here, because we have seen in the past how, as the track seems to evolve over a race distance, the final stint, you do seem to get better tyre wear. I've got doubts, Fever. Again, you'll have to manage that front left tyre. We're not taking a vast amount of time out of him like that. Maybe about a second, maybe a second and a half. P6, he's going to the end. Mikey behind him also going to the end. Everyone should be able to get to the end. There's rain coming. It doesn't look like at the moment, does it? We'll be able to get to the end. Derek's now going to the end. I'm surprised Derek stopped. I'm very surprised Derek took the extra pit stop. If we lose so much time here. That's it. It's on Arsenal's standard penalty. And Norby Norris. Over there, and let's have a look at the clouds. The clouds off there. Quite dark. A bit of mist forming on the circuit as well. Yeah, oh, not at the Mulsanne corner. It's also getting quite grey again, isn't it? It's just rolled in. Yes. Royston. Dropped us on the windscreen. A minute we're clear. For a sprinkle. See how hazy it is now here, look, as well. Head towards push curves. Right, a thick mist developing on the track. That's some more rain coming in. Clouds are forming. Sun's gone in. Will this swing the race result depending on when the rain comes, if the rain comes? So if the leaders go by the pits and it starts to chuck it down here, it's a long lap. If you're out here on slick tyres on a wet track, on a very wet track, you're going to lose a handful of time. It's about being on the right tyre at the right time, also being in the right place when the weather rolls in. You go past the pit exit, if it starts to rain like now, Royston's screwed. 16 seconds up the road. Not in here yet. Clouds are getting thicker. Sun's gone in now. Is the game just teasing us though? Yeah, yeah, a great drive from Royston. He's going to get those tyres to the end. I thought they would be dead. He's doing a very good job though on that front left tyre. A bigger lift there through Terre Rouge. Now, I think Dusty Fossil will catch him, but he's got 8 seconds back to Lennon, who is now starting to hemorrhage time. So Lennon's tyres are starting to get looking like they're not going to make it. Also lost about 4 seconds to Joker on that lap. Joker down to 4:02. 4:05. good top 6. Might have to stop here, and Royston might also have to stop, so it could be challenging for a top 4. Maybe potentially just dangling in front of him. It depends on what Royston and Lennon can do with their tyres. GT2 has snatched away P2. Probably advised to let him go, to be honest. Oh, has it really? Oh, God. What more have they got to do? Now it looks like the sun's coming back out again here. Yep, sun seems to be poking back through again then, so is the threat of rain subsiding? Slow there from Aaron out of Indianapolis. GT2 has the fastest lap, still a 4:01.9. Aaron just did a 4:02 flat. So GT2 is current fastest, and taking tenths of a second out of him. It does look like, provided his tyres will last the next 2 and a bit laps. He's got this one in the bag. It's the left rear. It's looking the worst for wear, but he can manage that for 2 laps. In hand, he can afford to lose 8 seconds a lap, so it does look like the 2 stops the way to go. Lennon, I don't think he's going to make that, is he? He's not going to make it from there. That right front tyre is not going to. The left front tyre is not going to make it. I think he'd be advised to just peel off here and go for softs. That's going to be one very second-hand tyre at the end of this lap. It's coming around to. Fairly red lap times, just mildly dropping off. Like he was doing 4:05s, 4:06s anyway. So the lap times are being consistent, but is he going to have any tyre left on that last lap? We saw how Face Potter struggled. He's only 3 seconds back from Joker. We've got Mikey 9 seconds back. He finds his way into the top 8. Derek's another one who should not have stopped doing the hard tyre. I think he could have got this hard tyres to the end. For some reason he chose to pit. Face Potter not a million miles away. Face Potter's another one whose soft tyres are looking very second hand. Left rear tyre is starting to give me concerns. Still got plenty of tyre in the bag, but this last lap, it's only half around this lap. I think that left rear tyre is going to be done by the time he gets out the Porsche curves. That slide's not going to help. Royston as well. Those tyres are not getting to the end, are they? Joker has got Lennon in the battle for 4th, and he's also up a half-second penalty. Now Lennon's got more of a chance because he's got on the hard tyre at least, but yeah, it's the There's a caveat that as the tyres start to wear, they slide more. As they slide more, they start to wear more. Until they inevitably drop off a cliff. So, you've just got to be careful. 16 seconds. He's got 1 1/3 lap to go. 1 1/4. Sorry. He was. I mean, he's only 32 seconds off now, but so he's not exactly made a bag of time. But yeah, he got his pit stops out of the way early. But yeah, Lennon's going to have to be careful. And Royston's another one. He's going to have very little tyre left. He's got the Porsche curves to come. That's going to be the section that really eats this tyre. So the good thing about this track is it's a lot of straights. You can see him now. Look how pedestrian he's been there through the exit of the Porsche curves. You know, he's really looking after that tyre through there. Really having to look through that tyre. Because it's not always going to be enough to just coast through the corners, even if you're leaning, just turning through the corners without the power on. You're still leaning on that tyre. So again, there's a little bit of a twitch from it. And although try and get this final lap out of that tyre. Final lap of the race. Final lap of the season. 15 seconds is the lead. We saw Aaron overhaul a 7-second gap to Lennon at the final lap of Barcelona a couple of weeks ago to take the win at the final corner. Oh, look at the car through there. Royston's having to pit. Royston's having to pit on the last lap. Lennon's going round. So Royston there just couldn't make it last. Aaron is sliding all over as he tries to get the car. This is going to be a test. Oh, we can hear the car sliding. Time down to 13 seconds. He's already lost 1.5 seconds. Still got plenty in hand. I don't know. If it was any other circuit, I would agree with you. It's going to be, what's the gap by the time he gets to the push? That left rear tyre is gone. The left rear tyre is gone for Aaron. Now he needs to tiptoe through all of the corners, especially this first part of the chicane. Oh! And the problem is he's sliding the rear of the van, which is now going to start wearing the right rear as well. Gap down to 11.6. Are we going to see? Alright, bet somewhere Carl takes the place. It's down to 10 seconds. Moves up to 4th. Battling Lennon in a straight line. That Mercedes is going to come back at him. Despite the fact he's got no front left tyre. They can probably bide his time. Oh, Lennon's going to go straight on. Aaron then has navigated the second chicane. It's down to under 10 seconds. It's down to 9. There's Aaron, there's Dusty Fossil, there's your first 2. He's going to have no rear tyres left shortly, is he? Down to Mulsanne corner, tiptoes his way through, again, big slide. On the straight. Where is Dusty Fossil? Over the corner now, you can see him, that gap's down to 7.5. You need to focus on racing. Get off the street. There is your leader. There's the pursuer. Ooh, wow. Big squeal of tyres. There it is. Pedestrian coming out of Indianapolis. The gap is still 7 seconds. There's Dusty Fossil. Dusty Fossil pushing as hard as he can. He's another one though. His tyres are on the edge. His left rear is not a lot better. Aaron out of R&R. He's down to 5 seconds. It's the Porsche curves. This is going to be the acid test. Stop typing in the stream. Gap down to 4.6. Here we go. Porsche curves. with no rear tyres. He's absolutely pedestrian. He's struggling to get the car turned. Drifting the rear around. It's down to 3.5. There's Dusty Fossil. Oh, Aaron is sideways. Oh, he's sideways again. Oh, and again. Dusty Fossil's there. Around the outside. And gets him in through. As they come out of the Porsche curves. And Dusty Fossil has timed it to perfection. Into the Ford chicane for the final time. And Dusty Fossil in his Ford Tribute livery for the victories in 66, 67, 68 and 69. They can now add 70. Dusty Fossil wins. Aaron, a great drive then for P2 despite having no tyres and out of the chicane. It's P3 on the day. It is, however, the championship for Joker. He is the season 31 GT2 champion. Then Goose is going to come home in P4. Prevailed in that battle with Lennon, who was just going to hold off Mikey. Oh no, he's not. He's got a penalty. He's going to lose the shot behind him. Mikey gets 5th, then Lennon gets 6th. Royston then, who had to stop on the final lap there, terrible shame there, just could not manage those tyres. He gets P7 ahead of Derek though. Derek, whose soft tyres are almost cooked as well. 9th for Houghton, 10th for Glynn. And Zom's going to come home in P11. Nobby Norris in P12. Oh no, oh there's some penalties going on because of the tyre thing. Face Potter and also nice try, Joe. Nice try, Jordan. Jordan has got no tyres left either. And now can't even get the car pointing straight. Trying to cut the curbs. Unfortunately, the game decided to reset him. He's now got over the curbs though, and across the line. Now there is some sorting out to do for the stewards because the result, I have to get the result on the screen. What is not up for discussion though is the race winner, Dusty Fossil. Tourist then in the end by 4.4 seconds. Any man to go sub 4:01 as well, and a 4:08 there as he tried to chase down the victor, which he did. A couple of corners from home. Then Aaron gets a great P2. Joker wraps up the title with P3. Congratulations to you. Goose solid P4 to round off his season. Mikey comes home in P5, pipping Lennon there, who had that penalty for P6. Then Royston, who was on for such a strong result there, just couldn't manage that tyre wear. It's P7. Derek takes P8. It was 9th for Zom's last. No, it wasn't. Zom was 11th because it's Odin and Glynn have given the tyre penalty thing, but they finished ahead. So Odin was 7th, 8th was Odin was 9th. Go back. .46. So yeah. So Odin was 9th. Glynn was 10th. Zom was 11th. Nobby was 12th, 13th for Face Potter, and 14th for Arsenal Joe. Johnny Boys. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Johnny Boys much of livery. That was a beautiful livery he did, and it lasted the lap of the race. So, shame for that then. But then that wraps up GT2 for season 31. Thank you once again to all the participants for all the comments, all the likes in the stream. It's always very much appreciated. Thank you for joining us every week. And we hope you enjoyed the action as much as they have enjoyed doing it for the most part, apart from Royston and his tyre wear. Season 31 of GT2 wraps up tomorrow. Please join Joker, the newly crowned champion, as he will. Tom's already wrapped up the title in GT1, so it's just playing for honour more than anything tomorrow. I'm not here though, so I don't really care. And then we've got our mini season coming up to round off the remainder of the year up to Christmas. Some details have been announced in the Discord. Sign-ups are open, so for those taking part, or if you want to take part, please get in touch and make sure that you register for the mini-season. 5-round mini-season to round up the year. And then we're 2026. Ugh, where has the year gone? So again, right then. So, but yes, if you haven't liked the stream, please do so. Thank you, Joe. And yeah, that's it for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us once again. Another great season of FTRL action for GT2. It always delivers great action. And tonight, and can't get your claw on my hand. Thank you. Yeah, more of that again in 2026. But from me for this evening, thank you very much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your evening.